Hello my little Ronlings. This episode's going to be a van camp, another van camp. My last video was a van camp. Normally I do a few tents and a van, a few tents and a van, a few tents and a van. So I don't normally do follow up with another van. Don't get me wrong, I mean I love van camping, but I must admit I do prefer the tent camping and backpacking and all that side of it. You know, I wouldn't have spent all this money on a van if I didn't like it. I obviously love that too, but I think the tent just about pips it to the post. So that's usually the way it goes. Lots of tents in a van. But I've done 2 vans in a row, including this one, because this morning I got a tattoo. Anyone knows had a tattoo knows that while it's healing you're not allowed to knock it, scrap it, pick it and all this business. So, and you know, if it's on your arm or your leg or something, it's really easy to sort of, well, not easy, but a lot easier to sort of like keep it out of the way. But when it's on your hand, it's really, you wouldn't believe how hard it is to stop, to not knock it and whack it on things, and it's really dodgy. So doing a tent camp, obviously that would be really hard, because you've got to pack the stuff into your bag and compress your sleeping bag and roll up your sleeping pad and stuff like that. There's no way in a million years I'd be able to do all that and keep it from being scratched. Some things you just need 2 hands, and other things are impossible to do without knocking it. So I can't take that risk. So a van camp's easy. You just get up, get in, and Bob's your uncle. So that's the reason for another van camp. It's an unusual one for me, because I tend to like scenery. I like to tent or van. I tend to like getting up in the morning and to all the scenery. But I decided to do something different, because this was a last minute thing. I thought, well, I'm not tent camping, so I'm just going to not do anything. But I couldn't do it. I had to get out. I need to be out. So this is a very last minute thing. So all I did was pull up in Asda car park. It's a massive Asda, not where I live, but near where my daughter lives, where I have to pick her up from school, because I've got to pick her up tomorrow. So it just made sense to be in the area I already got to be, so I don't have to wade through traffic. So I just went to the local Asda car park. I'm pretty sure there's no restrictions, although probably technically you're not supposed to be here overnight. I don't think there's any signs there. I'm going to go and check in a minute. I don't think there's any restrictions. There's no parking fees or anything like that. It's a 24-hour Asda as well, so you know, potentially there can be cars here any time of the day or night. So I will go and check, but I don't think this is going to be a problem. Problem for me in the fact that it's not going to be, I'm not going to be having a lovely scenery, and that's what I tend to go for. But you know, I'll give it a go. I've never done anything like this before. I'm not your guy who camps on roundabouts and on behind bins and stuff like that. Great to watch, but for me that's not as enjoyable. So it's a newish thing. I like that idea of it. I'm trying a new thing out. We'll see how that goes. Started to rain, so I just, straight away, look, see, I did that with my hands, and I've gone over my tattoo, and I sort of went, hurts. See, I'm already doing it, and I'm not even. Anyway, normally I give you a 360 at some point. Yeah, it's not usually straight away. But today I'm going to give you a 360 now, because it's just started to rain, so I don't know if I'm going to get this opportunity to do it again. So here it goes. There she blows. There you go. That's what I'm looking at today. This is my home for tonight. If you're allowed. I think you're allowed. I'm pretty sure you are, because it's a 24-hour Asda. Yeah. I don't think there's any cameras watching you coming in, sort of timing you. I don't think. But I'm going to go and have a look in a minute anyway, and we'll see. Okay, so I looked at the thing. It says there's a 3-hour maximum stay. So obviously I'm not going to stay for longer than 3 hours. There's no cameras watching you go in. You know, like they can actually physically log, because it says on there if you stay longer you have to go inside and get special permission off the management. Well, if they had cameras, then they'd know you stayed longer. You wouldn't need to get a special permission, surely, because because you're on the camera. I don't know. But there is no, as far as I'm aware, there's no cameras watching you come in. But of course, what I'll do is I'll leave in 3 hours, keep it legal, and then I'll stay somewhere else, and then I'll come back in the morning and park back where I am now, and so then I haven't broke the rules, see, because I've walked it, and that's what I'll do. And it'll look like, from your point of view, that I've stayed here all night, and anyone working at asda, it'll look like I've stayed here all night, but I haven't. I've actually left and come back, therefore staying within their rules. Probably not very easy to pick up on film, but it's absolutely chucking it down with rain now. Don't know if you can see that, how obvious that is on film, but it is throwing it down. Never mind, I'm warm, safe and dry. It's actually quite nice. I don't think the camera picks up stuff like that very well, but it's actually quite nice to sit here, even if the view isn't great. It's nice to sit here and just looking at the rain coming down. There's some nice trees in front of me. Not as nice as my new one, but so yeah, see how the weather unfolds, shall we? I've been stuck inside because it hasn't stopped raining since I got here. It's almost like it waited till I got here and then chucked it down. I was watching a bit of telly inside. I thought I'd come out for a bit of fresh air. But if I was oddly enough, if I was tent camping, I'd be absolutely fine with the chucking down rain, because I love the rain, it's great. But in my van, because it's not got any windows, because on certain occasions I want it to be stealth and I want it to look like a normal van externally, I don't have any windows in it, and I have to shut the door as the rain comes in, and so when it rains I kind of get stuck inside, which is an issue that I don't know whether I need to address that or not. I really need it to be windowless so it can be stealthy. But I don't know how important that is when the weather's sort of gets you stuck inside. As you can see, it's a bit miserable. Bit of a grey sky. So I guess in that sense, there's no point. If it rains, it doesn't matter if I pull up somewhere with a really nice view, because I can't look at it anyway. It's chicken tikka masala from, I can't remember, I threw the tin away now, either Tesco or Asda, because that's the only two places I can get it from. Not that, the only two places I can get it from, it's the only places I tend to buy it from. That's tonight's meal. Right, before the light goes, something I forgot to say before I got in the van is that you know, it's an expensive van. I spent loads of money on it. It's the non-human love of my life, and I damaged it quite badly. At my daughter's school, there's a barrier that goes over to stop vehicles too high from going under it. I can go under it really easy, but what I didn't take into account was a little cross bar. Yeah, the bar goes across the top and then down, and there's a little tiny little crossbar that goes across at a diagonal angle at one end to strengthen the top bit, and I took the corner a bit too tight and hit that bit, and this is what happened. I don't know if you can see that from here to here. It should be rounded, and it's gone completely flat. So like, it should look like that, and there's all that, all the way down off the end. How gutted am I? Am I still, I suppose. That'd be a really expensive fix, and I simply don't have the money to fix it. So yeah, my pride and joy, and for my stupidity, I sort of damaged it quite badly. What can I say? There's nothing to say really, except for that it made me really upset and annoyed and angry, and it's all completely my fault. I can't even blame anyone. It's all my stupidity. Just a momentary lapse, just not looking what I'm doing. Absolutely gutted. But there you go. You know, it's a pristine van. It only had one previous owner, only had 60,000 on the clock, which for an 8-year-old van is super low mileage. So it was almost brand new, and it's managed to get 8 years of its life unscathed, and then I come along and down the side of it. I can't express how depressed that made me. But and it's gonna have to stay like that for a while, because I simply don't have the money to fix that. It's, you know, I barely got enough money to keep it on the road, let alone try and fix stuff like that. So that's made it even worse. But there you go, one of life's little problems, and it is basically my fault. And where can you go from there? Nowhere really. So I'm watching YouTube videos, as I always do. I've not got my mic on, so I hope the sound's not too bad. The mic is of 2 parts, and I've brought one part with me and left the other part at home. So I'm using the GoPro mic, and also it's I don't know, you can probably hear that the rain's chink on the roof. So I hope the sound's okay. But I was watching YouTube channels, as I do, and everyone seems to be camping in the Peak District and Lake District, and it's the same, going to the same places, seeing the same old stones and seeing the same old. But like, you know, YouTubers who film themselves going there, they're kind of a minority. You know, because there's a lot more campers go there than just the people that decide to record it. So it got me thinking, if everyone's out there, everyone's out there, and everyone's pooing out there and burying it, and thousands of people every year all out there burying their poo, isn't it like going to get to the point where you put your tent peg in and you're going to be stabbing somebody else's poop? Just be lying on a layer of poop because everyone's buried it all under the ground. As it's just Peak District's just gonna be one big layer of poop before you get to the earth. You're just lying on poop. No, just got me thinking. Yeah, because with everyone, so many people go there. I mean, I've never been there. I've never been there through. The channel. My channel is all stealth, but that's kind of forced upon me because I live right down in the south, in the centre, in the south of the UK, and there is nowhere like that to do that. You can, there's nowhere you can go and set up a camp that's kind of free. So my channel is kind of almost like a protest for this part of the UK I live in, where everyone's so stingy. It's that my land, you can't have it, or if you want it, you've got to pay for it. Because there's nowhere, there is loads of places, but nowhere is being given to you, nowhere's been allocated so you can go wild camping. Yeah, they bang on about wanting to get you out and get you healthy, the government this is, and green and healthy and all that, but they don't actually do anything to help you do that. So they're not giving, you know, not everyone can afford to camp on campsites every weekend. You know, you've got single parents struggling to make ends meet, but want to give their child some good memories, and yet they the government do nothing about helping you do that. So my channel is in a sense a sort of a protest to that, because I have to go stealth camping. It's my only choice, because there is nowhere you can go unless you pay for it, and I don't have the money to do that. So, but the, what do you call it, the upside to that is that my channel does not show you everything that every other channel shows you, because I can't go to these places. Now, don't get me wrong, I would love to, but I can't, because it's too far away, it'd be too expensive on fuel, and I don't have the time because I've got to be back for commitments to my daughter. So I show you lots of different things, but these YouTube channels are constantly, oh, back on the Peak District, oh, I'm back on the Peak District, oh, back on the Peak, because they live nearby and that's all they ever do. So it's a bit of a, it's a bit samey. You're camping samey anyway. It's inevitable that you're going to be, if you're pitching a tent and camping, you're all going to be pitching a tent. You're all going to be you're all going to be showing your stoves, and I'm as guilty as charged for that. Because what else can you do if you're camping somewhere? What else can you do? You can only do that. You know, you're all camping, so you're all doing the same thing. So you're gonna show the same thing. But they keep showing the same backgrounds and the same scenery, and and that's a bit samey and a bit boring, and I'm starting to lose interest. The one thing I have is that I do show lots of different places. This particular episode is a sort of a one-off, really. I've never parked in Asda Mill ever, or any car park like that. So it was an experiment, and that's why I'm saying all this, because it sort of got me thinking the whole thing about camping in this car park and what other channels show, and it's one aspect, one side effect, for want of a better word, of my channel is that I'm not showing you the same as everybody else is showing you, which is kind of forced upon me, but the outcome is actually quite a lot more interesting, I think. It's certainly interesting for me, more interesting for me, doing stuff like that. But that's what got me about thinking about the sea of poo. You know, that everyone in the whole world is pooping in the same places, and now you have, surely now you have a sea of poo. That's just the way my mind works. But as you may or may not be able to hear, it's been chucking it down since I come here. It still is now. It's quite miserable out there. But yeah, it's been a good night. I've enjoyed my camp. I've watched lots of TV. I've had a nice meal. Had some snacks. Didn't show you them, I don't think. Had some snacks, and yeah, it's not sure if maybe I will, I don't know. It's an easy thing to just turn up, park, and I'm here, sort of thing. So I like the easiness of it, but yeah, it's not incredibly, what's the word, happy about not having a nice view. But then, you know, it's been pouring down with rain, so I guess maybe of all the days for it to happen, for me not to have somewhere with a nice view, you know, when it's pouring down with rain is probably the best time, because I'm not gonna have the window open anyway, door open anyway. So yeah, I know there's a side of me that's like, yeah, great, but it's not the full experience. But yeah, I have enjoyed tonight, so yeah, it's been good fun. But yeah, there's that part of it, excuse me, there's that part of it that's yeah, sort of going, well, you know. But you know, it's like my last one was an experiment. No, a couple of videos ago was an experiment. First time I'd done something, and this time was kind of the first time I've done something. So yeah, it's good to keep trying stuff. Whether I do it again though, it's questionable. Yeah, people do it to make money and stuff, but to get views and stuff. But yeah, it's great, but I've got to enjoy it as well. That's what it's about for me. That's why I do it. I do this for enjoyment. So the not having the view bit, which is what I enjoy, not being in a nice environment, which is what I enjoy, that's missing. So it's great, but there is a part that's missing. So but it was a good experiment anyway. So I'm going to say goodnight now anyway, because it's what is it, it's 11:30, so I'm going to so I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to get into brush my teeth and all that, get into bed, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. Oh, I'm not the best. Turn that off. So all day breakfast this morning, for obviously breakfast. I've got loads of these. These are quite nice to have in the morning, nice and easy. Chuck that in the bin. Yeah, so I had a really good sleep and a really nice coffee. It rained pretty much all night. It's only really stopped this morning. Because it was constant, it was loud on the roof of the van, but because it's constant, I had no trouble getting off to sleep. It's starting and stopping that keeps me awake. So yeah, so it was alright. I was nice and warm, and obviously warm, dry, perfect conditions, and so it was a really good sleep. And I've woken up this morning, and the rain stopped, and it's just a car park. Not gonna bother showing you anymore because it's just a car park. But hey, you know, the camper van side of it was really fun, because I do like being in my camper van, and I'd rather do this than be stuck indoors as well. So yeah, that's only one small aspect of camping that I was missing, but I did really enjoy that. You know, really enjoy it. I'll just get on with my breakfast now. I'm going to finish my breakfast and finish my coffee, and then I'll be off. So I'm going to say goodnight here while I stuff my face. I hope you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it overall, and I'll see you next time.